What's the Not Your Finest Hour podcast? What is that all? I mean, I've heard stories.
Not Our Finest Hour podcast. One I'll have to check out one of these days when I get a minute to listen to it. I've been told it's not for everyone. I don't know. It's just the general reviews I hear on it, but it has been getting really good reviews.
And I've never personally listened to it, but I have heard it's not for everyone.
I listened to the Not Our Finest Hour podcast. Just great podcast. I've really enjoyed that.
I'm not endorsing anything. From what I said, from what Caleb told me, he said don't endorse anything unless you listen to it first.
I do once in a while listen in, and it's a lot of fun. But I do got to be careful. It is not for everyone.
Caleb Allman is always dropping notes that it's one of the most value-added shows out there.
Of course, through all the Not Our Finest Hour, you guys poking fun at so much different stuff is absolutely killer.
I don't feel any oppression tonight. In fact, I feel very free. The Not Our Finest Hour podcast. Thanks for being here.
Welcome to the beginning of the podcast being recorded on Google Meetup. Is that what this is, Mike?
That's what it is.
Because Zoom is a failure. Fuck Zoom. Got bought out by some hedge fund. They fucking degraded the product. Now the product's shit. Stupid hedge funds. They killed Red Lobster and they killed Zoom. I actually don't know what happened to Zoom. It's just malfunctioning, but whatever. I'm blaming hedge funds, motherfuckers.
Red Lobster, now Zoom.
Yeah, Red Lobster, now Zoom. Yeah. So this week, my wife came home from a girls' weekend on Sunday and was very sick. And we went to the hospital at 7:00 at night. And then we were in the waiting room at the Oshawa Hospital till in the general emergency area, let's call it, till I think probably 12:30 the next day. So I had been awake for 36 hours or something. And being at the Oshawa Hospital was for 36 hours nonstop, being awake for before and then going to the hospital and being awake. I began to felt like it was very much the same as plowing snow. With a couple differences. There was honestly a lot more screaming babies than when you're plowing snow. But you know that like kind of delirious state you're in plowing snow, you've been up for 36 hours. There was also a lot more dying old people than when you're plowing snow. But the one thing I can confidently say, because I plowed a lot of snow in Oshawa for a lot of my life, whether you're awake for 36 hours at the Oshawa Hospital or you're awake for 36 hours plowing snow in Oshawa, there's the same amount of crackheads getting arrested. Whether you're at the hospital or you're plowing snow, same amount of meth and crackheads getting arrested at the so that was good. Yeah. I also became amazed by the incredible variation of footwear at a hospital. Paramedics are so we were in, sorry, go ahead, Chen.
Like the doctors and the nurses, or like the patients?
Everybody mixed together. The mixture of footwear at a hospital is just
in Cornwall, we're 90% slippers at the hospital. Like giant tiger, like slippers, not presentable by any means.
So we were in the in emergency intake area for a long time because I guess it was the only bed they had, and it was beside the ambulance bay. So the paramedics were coming in. So the paramedics are coming in and like, I guess they must be some kind of issued thing or requirement, but like commando army boots, steel toe with 8 inches up the thing, pants tucked in. Like there's them wearing army boots. There's also a shit ton of security guards in bulletproof vests wearing a variety of steel toe footwear. They didn't have the same affinity for 8-inch commando boots, but they all had some kind of steel toe boots on. and they're standing beside a nurse who's wearing white Crocs with rainbows on them. And then they're standing beside some dude who wandered off in on the street with his bare feet. And then there's another nurse with a pair of like Nike running shoes. And then there's, you know, a guy wearing just the hospital cover up slippers wandering around. It's just such a wild variety of footwear. And a lot of these people are at work, you know, they work in a hospital, and it's like, man, these people are like wearing Crocs every day. For some reason, I guess after 30 hours, I started looking at people's footwear going, man, I couldn't get away with that shit. These people are like wearing Crocs to work every day. Like, I think there'd be some kind of steel toe boot requirement in a hospital. I don't know.
Hold up. A lot of the landscapers wear Crocs to work. A lot of the jobber landscapers will wear Crocs to work.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
That's not a stretch.
So anyways, the whole experience was, to their credit, we were there at 7 p.m. and by 7 p.m. on Sunday night, and by 7 p.m. on Monday night, Kelly was in surgery and then in recovery. So she was in surgery by 3. She was in recovery and back in her room by. We were talking to her by 7. So I'll call it a win for Canadian healthcare, I guess. And I would be primed to be very critical of them. There was some really good people working there that were super kind to us. So,
on a personal level, the service that you get at the hospital is great. You know, like for the most part, the doctors are great, the nurses are great, the staff is great. It's all the shit in between, the administrative stuff. Not anybody's fault, but just the wheels in general move ridiculously slowly, or backwards, or the handling of money is wrong. It's not the people themselves by any means that are the problem with the healthcare, in my opinion.
the other thing I find interesting about healthcare is things are either moving at an insanely fast pace, like an emergency, like someone's dying, code whatever, or they're moving at an insanely slow pace and you're sitting in the waiting room for 10 hours. There's no medium pace at an emergency room in the hospital.
That's
There's
the difference between me being on my site and me not being on my site.
I think it
Reliance
is, yeah. I think maybe that is the truth. Yeah. Did you click your microphone on your Zoom, on your Google meeting? You have to select it.
You still sound the same.
I still sound the same?
But if you go to the microphone thing in the bottom there and click it, it'll let you select the ball.
Mac microphone. Is this better?
Yeah. It changed.
It changed.
Talk
Does it sound
again.
better?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you sound a bit better.
Yeah, you sound, you're like the bomb now. Now you're the superstar that everyone expects.
I wouldn't go
When they log in, when they listen to the Not Our Finest Hour podcast. So yeah, I was amazed by the other thing is we hung out we were in the paramedic bay for I think 6.5 hours. And Kelly and I always have this thing where we think like we have weird conversations that a lot of couples don't have. Like we're talking about like, did you pay this person $50,000? What are you doing with this job? Like, it just, we're having these conversations in depthly about hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of a year. And, it's hard if you're not with other people who are running businesses to conceive of things like we spend $6,000 a week on fuel and that becomes our norm though. So if we're talking about that and we're sitting with other people, they're usually just staring like, I spent $6,000 on fuel in 2 years. And I'm like, I spent that in 5 days. Like it becomes like a weird, so we were sitting in the bay where the paramedics come in and out and listening to them talk about their experiences, but it's like they're talking about it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there going, holy shit, this is wild conversations these people are having. And it's just, but that's their life every day is just this, like to me, insane stuff that they were talking about happening to them on the one they came in, and the one paramedic said to the other one, she said, I feel like we saved a life today. And the other paramedic, the guy turned her and said, we don't save lives. Said, what do you mean we don't save lives? It's like, we just delay death.
Oh,
That's what this whole he said that's what this whole medical thing is. It's just a delaying of death. There's no saving lives here. You can't save a life. A life can never be saved. A life will always be taken. No one lives forever unless you're a Rothschild. If you're a Rothschild, then you can live forever. They're having this like insanely deep conversation while there's some guy getting arrested by the cops in the bay and there's lights going on. I'm like, man, this is a really deep conversation for these paramedics to be having in the midst of this total shit show at the hospital, the controlled shit show. Like, I think they did an amazing job when we were there. I started thinking about how these people's lives are so insanely different. And the one thing I will say, I've been now going to the hospital since Sunday night very steadily. And the biggest disappointment at the hospital so far is not one person has offered me a $350 cash rebate. There has not been one $350 cash rebate offered at the hospital. So,
I wonder if there's a Not Our Finest Hour paramedic podcast out there.
If there's a paramedic podcast, I would fucking
sure.
listen to that shit.
A buddy of mine is a nurse, been a nurse for 20 years or whatever. This is sort of landscape related. He would tell me some of the wild stories that go on, right? Whenever he's working. I'm like, are you allowed to say that? He's like, yeah, I just can't say their name. So he was working one night and it was nighttime. And this guy comes in and he falls to his knees with a foot in his hand, and it's covered in grass clippings. He was cutting the lawn at night and ran over his kid and cut off his kid's foot. And as he's spilling into the emergency room, the foot is like falls out of his hands, and the kid comes by in the ambulance gurney, and they're like, we got to put this foot back on. Like, did you put the foot back on? They're like, oh, we did it. We tried. Like, holy shit. Ran over your kid. Imagine that. You take off your kid's foot cutting the grass at night. But
Yikes.
That would, like, the stuff that those people must deal with.
Shit that they see.
Yeah.
Like, we'll deal with hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they deal with a complete set of different problems, right?
Oh, totally different.
And it becomes normal, like you say.
Yeah. I wonder how long it takes for it to become normal. Like,
Wonder
how
how
much
long
they
it takes
need
to
to
put a foot
acclimate
back
to their
on.
job. Oh, yeah.
I would guess there's some people that don't acclimate and they don't do it very long.
I would assume so too.
Like, I would guess there must be, I don't know. It seems like a really hard. There's a guy. I don't know how it is at other hospitals because I was saying to Kelly, I don't think I've ever been to the emergency room for myself. I don't think I've ever stayed in a hospital overnight. Like, I went to the hospital once to have my gallbladder removed, and I was there for 6 hours. Then I went home. Like, they took out my gallbladder. I woke up, I got out of bed, and I went home with my gallstones taped to my arm. And I played hockey 2 days later in a tournament.
Why did they tape them to your arms? Because you wanted to
I have no
keep them?
idea.
To show you?
My arms are hairy as fuck. So not only were these thousands of gallstones in a jar taped to my arm, now I'm ripping out my hair. And I'm like, this is more painful than the actual surgery. If you said to me, what do you remember about having laparoscopic surgery to have your gallbladder removed 27 years ago when it was like a new thing and it was high risk or whatever? What do you remember about it? I'd say, I remember they taped this shit to my arm, man. It was worse than a Band-Aid. You had to rip that shit off. Now you've got like all these gallstones. Why would I want them? Like, in a collection, so I can remember the 2 years of endless driving pain that they caused. Fucking, I don't know. I guess they thought I would want them. But I don't know that I've ever been to the emergency room for myself. I don't think I ever have. Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. I've sat there lots of nights I think I sat there a couple nights for pee. She's usually pretty healthy too. I don't. So
Hmm.
it is a. But so we went in. You go to triage, and you wait in a triage room. Then you go one of the 3 triage rooms, and you get triaged. Then you go to the main waiting room, and you wait there. And then there's a person that calls you to the front, and they check your vitals. Then they send you back. And then they call your name and they bring you to the front, and you've been there so long they're checking your vitals again. Then they send you to the back. But sooner or later they call your name and you get to go through the doors. But you don't know when that is. It's like a game show.
They're rating
calling,
you.
Well, yeah, they're
Rating
waiting
you to see how soon you go through the doors compared to everybody else in the room.
But it's like a lottery. It's like some kind,
A lottery of death.
You see these people and their name gets called, and it's the first time their name's gotten called because you've been there for a bit now, and their name gets called and they look so fucking pumped. You're like, I can't wait to see the actual disappointment on your face when that guy takes your blood pressure and kicks you back, because it's going to happen. And you just sit there waiting for the disappointment. And that's all, because that's all you got. And you got CP24 telling you about the Olympics over and over and over again, and the horrible Tom Cruise closing ceremonies. But it's like this game. And once you get past that guy, now you're in the actual emergency where a doctor might come. And if you go online now, it'll tell you how many hours before you see a doctor. So before we went on this adventure, Kelly looked it up and it said 2 hours to see a doctor. I thought, oh, cool. Yeah, we got there at 7. When 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning rolled around and we saw the doctor, I was like, man, they must be dividing their day up into multiple times and saying, like, I'm going to do this for this day and that for that day. And we stretch this day out to get extra days. Like they must be for that. They must be down with one of these guru guys that fucking, yeah. The death of the guru, the rise of the marketer. Anyways, all in all, it was a pretty good experience so far. I mean, Kelly seems a lot happier without her gallbladder. So that's
What's
good.
she eating for hospital food?
They had some kind of salmon thing that she was eating when I was leaving. And then she had turkey soup for lunch. What's horrifying to me is, like, I don't have this whole thing happening. I have no idea how to run our business. Like, it made me realize that I don't know anything. Nothing. Because Kelly had been away on her vacation, so she was going to do payroll on Monday morning. But then Monday morning came and she was somewhat incapacitated. I was thinking, what's the solution? Because I got to have a solution, because everyone needs to get paid, right? So the only solution that Mike could come up with was to go withdraw $10,000 from his personal bank account and then get some envelopes and then ask people, how much do you get paid by the hour? Because I don't even know. And how many hours did you work last week? Because I also don't know that. And then just trust that people are honest and then count out money and pay them.
That's what I would have done. I would have given them checks instead of straight cash, but
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm allowed to sign the checks.
oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
We actually have some checks that are sitting here, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm authorized on the account to sign those checks. It's like, fuck.
Because when Kelly gets back, she'll sort it all out anyway, right? She'll do the remittance and
I told her about the idea, and she woke up this morning. She was like, bring me my computer now, because you're going to cause way more chaos for me. So she was sitting in the hospital bed with the IV drip going, pounding out the payroll and stuff on her computer and paying everybody, like all the whatever. She was paying the bills because I'm so useless. My wife doesn't trust me so much. She's like, I'm going to do this while I'm on pain medication and an IV drip because I'm still more competent than you at doing this, which is probably fair. And I actually agree with her. So
that's great.
Anyways, so some people bought the dump truck, supposedly. It's been sold, our dump truck.
Ooh.
Did
they get the
asking?
No, we got I wanted to I wanted to get 65,000 for it. That was my goal. We got 64,000 for it, but it was actually because I'm not good at selling things.
They use the Not Our Finest Hour discount code.
They used the Not Our Finest Hour discount code. But I'm also not very good at selling things. So
If you got $1,000 less than asking, that's pretty good at selling things.
but I didn't,
You know?
because
Okay.
in my life I've concluded that when I'm not good at things, I will find people who are good at things and I will ask them to do it. So Naz, who's one of our broker guys, is very good at selling things on Facebook. So I said to him, you sell this truck and I'll make this worth your while. So he posted his own Facebook ad for the truck, and he actually was the one that found the buyer for the truck. And he met the guy at the yard, and Christy actually happened to be in the yard. She's coming back from her day, so she took them out in the truck, because I don't think the people that bought it can drive 18-speed manual currently, and so I didn't want them driving our truck. So Christy took them out for a drive in the truck. And we have to sell it certified. So I think after certification and NAS will be somewhere around 60 grand for the truck. So I feel like that's still a win.
Yeah.
Considering it was about to lower it. And then if we couldn't get 50 for it, I was going to say, fuck it and keep it, because we'll use it in the winter for snow. And Darian said he would come back and drive for snow. So we could have kept it because he could drive it, and Don can drive it, and Christy can drive it, and the new driver Ross that's driving the bin truck for the field crew, he can drive 18 too. So we would have had lots of drivers, but anyways, I'd rather have the money in the bank in the current moment. So
Yeah. I bought another truck today.
I saw that.
I bought an old fuel truck.
So how do you flush the tank out to clean it for water?
You just flush it. I'm gonna throw a couple bottles of Dawn in there, dish soap, and
That's a good idea.
wash it around. If it's good enough to clean ducks, it's good enough to clean the tank. You know, like
Legit point.
it cleans off oil. Diesel is just oil, so I mean, I don't think it'll.
How much does a fuel truck go for?
A fuel truck with ridiculously high kilometers goes for $21,000.
Did you buy it at an auction or did you buy it off someone?
No, I brought my water truck in to the mechanic. I said, you got to look at this. Shane says the AC compressor is going, and it wouldn't start that morning. And the mobile mechanic said there's oil in the coolant.
So that's a good sign. Always a good sign.
I'm like, so this thing is probably fucked. Like, Neil, how much am I looking at to fix this? He goes, like $6 or $7 grand. I'm like, great. The truck is worth, I don't know. The toolbox on the back is $6 grand. The flat deck is $4 grand. The water tank is maybe $4 grand. So it's only worth 15 grand total, the truck. And I said, don't do anything. Let me think about it. As I'm leaving, the mechanic for the shop runs over and says, hey, you guys want to buy a water truck? And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, take a look at this. He's like, I used to work for Ultramar, which is the fuel company. He's like, it's a great truck. Like, he's just selling it because he's getting out of it. He's going down to one truck. He's not busy. Okay, let's go have a look. Went over, looked at it. It's a freight shaker, which I don't love. Cat motor, which is apparently good in this one.
That is very good. What is it, like a C9?
I'm not sure. It's an old. I don't even know the year of the truck, but like the fuel tank on it alone, PTO fuel tank is worth, I don't know, 12 grand. Aluminum fuel tank.
Probably, yeah.
Two pumps, 2 hose reels, baffles in the tank, like everything you would want out of your fluid truck. This truck has. It's just got stupid high kilometers, but they're like, for what you use it for, you probably get 10 years out of it. So, perfect.
Yeah, well, you're never going to put crazy K on it.
No, like the truck goes out for maybe 5,000 kilometers a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and it's you can probably get someone to run flushers on the front of it and stuff too.
Yeah, I probably can, like road sprayers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fill from the bottom. It's right now ours. You have to climb up on top of the water tank with the hose and put the hose in the top. which is it's 12 feet in the air. It's stupid high, right? So now no one has to do that. We can just quick connect to the bottom and fill it from our pond. It's but it needs complete paint and the decal's taken off and stuff. But which thankfully we have a body guy. So
You can polish the tank.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a lot of work no matter what we do.
You got to polish the tank to get rid of the decals and stuff. You got to polish it at least once. You got to get someone to
sand it. And
there's like all that aluminum polish you can buy, right?
yeah,
that's a whole. I don't know. There's a whole niche with polishing aluminum, man.
Yeah, there's guys online that they do tires and all that. It has aluminum rims right off the show floor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Caleb will be happy.
Yeah.
He'll make his day.
Yeah.
The one thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't know. I'm just.
Is it standard or auto?
It's standard. I wanted auto, but for $21,000, what do you do?
Yeah, not much. What do you know? What transmission's in it?
I think it's an Eaton. It looked like an Eaton.
An 8LL probably.
8LL or yeah.
Which
I think is what's my other truck. It's just an okay transmission, right? But, it'll do. It'll do. My other option was buying a hook lift truck. You know, sell one of the tandems and the water truck, and maybe another truck, and then get into it. Then you're into payments for $3,000 or $4,000 a month for 5 years. I don't want to commit to that. So.
No, I don't think you're into. If you're buying a brand new hook truck, I don't think you're into payments for 5 years. You're probably into $3,000 or $4,000 months payments for like 10 years.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends how much you put down, right?
Yeah.
So I'd probably put 100 down or something, and then get into it for the rest. But whatever, we don't have to go there.
I think it's a great solution.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll try it. It won't be the last water truck we'll ever own, but maybe it'll be the second last water truck we ever own.
Absolutely, potentially. It sounds like a great setup.
It should be a great setup, and I think we have more, like showing up in our water truck does the trick, but you're almost like, you think that the client is like, am I really paying $125 an hour for this fucking thing to show up with like a tank strapped with ratchet straps to the back of the truck and like a pump that's hanging off the side? Like, it does the trick, sure, but it doesn't look pretty doing it. This thing, I think if we get it in good shape, it'll look at least like, yeah, you know what? It's a specialized truck. They can get $125 an hour out of the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I looked at a fuel truck once for a water truck. It's a good idea.
Yeah. I think it's the only way to go for, like, I don't know how a landscape company my size can afford a brand new water truck.
Oh, fuck.
At $150,000 for just a water truck that all it does is water.
Right.
We're not there. Need to make more than low 20s to get there.
Gotta be higher than the low 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while I was sitting in the hospital, one thing did occur to me from last week's podcast. As I wandered around the hospital and I sat in the hospital, the one thing that occurred to me from last week's podcast was the line in The Gambler where they said, the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. You're fucking goddamn right. You're goddamn right. That is the truest line in that whole song.
Yeah.
You're walking around the hospital and you're seeing these people. I'm like, man, I bet any one of these people, I just seeing them, I'm like, holy fuck, man. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get out of the hospital. So they woke up, they got to the hospital, they're in a delirious state. They all look like they're not going to, maybe they recover. I mean, I'm hardly a doctor to judge what people, but I'm like, man, every one of these people, I'm like the best you could hope for. I just was like, man, that is a fucking real line there. That is some true shit in that line. That is some true ass shit there. That fucking line. It's
Kenny.
so I had an inquiry of something to talk about on the podcast. It's like a fucking miracle because no one ever sends me anything. And so we had our trucks tinted by Darker Designs, the mobile tint company, who legit did an absolutely fantastic job on our vehicles. Showed up exactly when they said they would, did all the work they said they would do, did it on time, did it on budget. He was asking if we think that tinting equipment is is going to become a big trend. People tinting their equipment out, and I feel like it's growing for sure.
Their equipment or their trucks? Or
No, the
both?
equipment. People,
Yeah,
I see a lot of tinted excavators.
Yeah. I need to be able to communicate with the operator. I can't have dark windows everywhere. Like, I know it looks cool and shit, but I need that operator to know that I see them and they see me all the time.
So I never run one with I never run an excavator with the window down. So it wouldn't matter to me. I hardly ever run an excavator with the door closed.
No, I agree, and I do the same thing. Window up, door open.
It doesn't
Until
matter if it's minus 30, pouring rain. That's how I run them.
Yeah, but can you see how if you had an excavator with tinted windows and you had a guy that didn't, and he's trying to, the guy on the ground is trying to communicate something to him, and it like the message isn't getting through, just because you do it open and I do it open.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I would tint windows in excavator that I'm running, and I would tint the
But
back
what's the
window.
sense if they're always up? What's the sense in doing it at all?
I don't know. I think it looks cool.
For when you're loading them, or when you're not in them?
I don't know how much. Why did you buy aluminum rims for your truck?
I didn't. They
Your
came
hook
on
truck.
it.
No, you bought aluminum rims for your hook truck for what purpose?
Because they look cool.
Exactly.
But they don't come off whenever I'm driving it.
But they look. But he only did it because they look cool. There's no practical reason. I mean, I guess you could make an argument that the aluminum rims were lighter, and you were potentially over the lifetime of the truck going to save some fuel. So, but you only owned it for 2 months after that, so I don't think you got out of those. I'm just saying. I think they look. The same arg. I mean, I know what you're saying about the operator seeing the operator. I agree. I at first was tempted not to tint the windows, the side windows of the dump trucks and the bin trucks, because we haul a lot of snow at night. Mm-hmm. And when you look through tint into a mirror at night, but 90% of the time I have the windows open hauling snow. Yeah. And so I asked all the drivers. Cody was the only one who didn't tint her side windows. She got her back window tinted because when she's driving around without a bin on, the sun comes through the back window of the truck and heats up the cab. So she didn't want her side windows tinted, but all the other trucks got tinted. So I don't know. I guess that's the thing.
I mean, it does look cool. I can understand that aspect of it, but I can.
So you think an excavator with tinted windows would be more likely to maybe have like an accident?
It doesn't make it any safer, you know?
No.
So
I don't know, because I was going to get our excavator windows tinted.
Our
excavator has actually been out on rent for like almost 6 weeks now. I forgot we even owned it. some guy called me and said, "Hey man," because we haven't, like, last year that excavator worked every day almost. It worked a lot. This year it hasn't worked at all. We haven't had one job where we needed an 8-ton excavator. Because we use it maybe in January at the Canoe Museum a bit to stack the frozen soil we were installing for whatever godforsaken reason. But since then, it's mostly just sat around the yard the whole time. So then I had a client that we do a lot of work for call me and say, "Hey, can I rent your 8-ton excavator?" And he's I deal with a lot of his staff all the time, so I know what they're like and how they treat equipment. And we float a ton of their equipment, and when you get in their equipment, it's always clean and greased and well taken care of, and they're not. So I said, sure, if you want to rent it, okay. And it was going to a residential project that he's working on, so it wasn't going to get like thousands of hours piled on it. So it's been gone for Dawn floated it up there like, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and then I was in the yard and one of the other guys that works in the shop at the yard turned to me and said, "We're gonna pull that old truck out of the bushes. Where's a big excavator?" I said, "Oh shit, I forgot we even had it. Like, I don't even know we had it." I was like, "Fuck," because even the guy that took it, I didn't like start a rental bill or anything because he's always fair with us. I said, use it for what you use it. If I need it, I'll call you. And he's always fair with us. So I'm like, I know he'll pay us whatever's fair. So I forgot we owned it. I was like, fuck. You think I'd remember that, but I didn't. So sorry, go ahead. I have an interesting story that I want your guys' opinion on. But
Well, give her hell.
oh, it sounded like you were going to say something.
Oh, well, we almost bought a diesel packer today or yesterday. We were
Like a ride-on or a reversible?
No, like a reversible 5545 whacker, which is like, I don't know, 800-pound, 900-pound packer or something. But so we're doing this big wall job, right? And we have to pack the last inch and a half, like an inch and a half, 2 inches, 4 inches, whatever it is. So we got pricing, and it was $18,000 for this packer. And then just for the hell of it, we're like, well, let's maybe price one to rent first. And we need it for 3 months or whatever to finish these walls. So I called Sunbelt, and they're like, oh, we'll give it to you for like $900 a month. Okay. It looks like we're not buying an $18,000 packer when we can have it for 3 months for $2,700. And that's really all, I think. If it breaks, you send it back, they give you a new one.
They're pretty popular, I think, for people to rent and not own.
Yeah. So for 1 day, it's $300. For 1 month, it's $900.
Really?
Yeah.
You just got a thumbs down.
I know. Did I do that to myself?
I don't know why that happened.
You gave me a thumbs down.
That's interesting.
I wonder if this is like is this being broadcast live somehow, Mike?
No idea.
And someone's watching Chad and they gave him a thumbs down?
Would it be the person, my toughest critics?
That's awesome that as you're talking, you get a thumbs down.
We just bought a reversible plate compactor, but it's only 400 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And it has a gas motor.
Yeah. A pair of those, yeah.
We have a couple of jobs going on where we needed something bigger than just a walk behind, little plate, kind of the standard plate compactor that's in every tool trailer.
Yeah.
So it was, I think it was $6,000.
Not bad. We spent
I thought it was pretty fair. $6,000.
Yeah, that is the price. Yeah.
I thought it was. That's why I was like, yeah, you know what, we could buy it for $6,000, and it has a Honda motor. I was like, if something goes wrong with it, I feel like it's pretty easy. You know what else happened to me today? I fucking went out because my truck is a 2019, so it's at least 5 years old, potentially 6 years old, depending on when it got sold as a 19. Could have been sold in 18 as a 19, like halfway through the year. So I went out today and I pushed a button. It's also got 230,000 kilometers on it. I pushed the button and the batteries were dead.
Oh.
I was like, fuck. Oh, luckily Kelly's in the hospital, so I'll just take her truck because it's sitting in the driveway. And then I thought, man, I'm going to have to replace these batteries. So I started my day doing all the shit that I didn't do the day before because I was in the hospital all day. And I had all today's shit to do as well. So I'm doing all my stuff. And I was like, man, I got to get these batteries and replace these batteries in my truck. Because if Kelly comes home, she might need her truck sometime. I can't just be. Plus, the truck's dead in the driveway with the hood open because I opened the hood and just left it open because I was like, fuck this truck. It's 5:15 in the morning.
First?
No, I don't boost things. The batteries are dead, man. They're cooked. It happened to the black truck. You know what happened with the black truck? The batteries got old and then they died. And then it's like, I boosted it a couple times, but then you never know when it's going to die. And then I don't like that whole scenario of worrying about it. So I'm just going to buy new batteries. Fuck this. Because there's, I got 6 years. I got 6 years out of them. How much longer do you think? How much longer do you want them to last? Like, it's a 5 or 6 year old truck, depending on when it was sold. It's got 230,000 kilometers on it. How much more life am I getting? Say I boosted it and it lasts another 3 months, and then it dies at some super inconvenient time when Kelly's not in the hospital, and I don't have the option to take her truck. So I was like, I'm going to buy these batteries. I'm going to put them in. But then by like 10 o'clock, I had concluded that there was no fucking way that was going to happen for me today. So back to my theory of I'm going to call people who are really good at what they do and ask them if they can help me. I called Brad. Brad, can you replace the batteries in my pickup truck? Or he has a helper working with them. Can one of you guys go down and replace the batteries in my pickup truck for me? And he said, absolutely. And by like 11:30, he called me and said, yeah, the truck's fixed. You're good to go. I thought, man, that was so much smarter use of my time. Old Mike would have never done that. Old Mike would have had that truck sitting with the hood open for 3 days while he was jogging from place to place trying to make his, like, I just would never have fixed it. Or I would have boosted the truck and then it would have died at some horribly inconvenient time far away. That's Old Mike would have done both those
Or maybe
things.
maybe you would have gotten the rest of the life out of the truck. Maybe you left with the door a little bit open and it drained the battery because the light was on.
That's a fair point.
And maybe
that's a fair point.
The alternator would have charged the battery and you would have been completely fine. I would at least have tried it one time before I went and bought.
And then tomorrow I'm going to the contractor breakfast for one of our GC clients, the subcontractor appreciation breakfast. And it is all the way in Mississauga. And tomorrow is when I'd find out that, yeah, those batteries really needed to be replaced. So that's why you're from Cornwall. You don't go anywhere.
What do you mean I don't go anywhere? I've jobs in Kingston and Ottawa and
would you, if your
Toronto
truck
is
batteries,
not the center of the universe.
If your batteries died and you had to go the next day to do important things, you would boost it and run the risk?
You're going to a contractor appreciation breakfast or whatever. So you know there's going to be other contractors there that likely have had the same problem. I can think of a worse place for your truck to die. I
don't know.
If someone's truck died and I was at a contractor appreciation, sure, I've got 3 sets of cables in my truck. Let's boost you real quick and get you home. Then you can deal with it there.
I don't know. I can tell you this, as soon as the new batteries are in it, I think they've been dying for a while because I've had trouble getting it to lock, like to pick up the signal. And I thought it was the remote. But today, as soon as the new batteries were in it, I hit it, it locked immediately. And there's just some other funky things going on with when you started it, but I think all of that, now there's so much electronics in them that it's a lot of it, I think, has to do with whether the batteries can hold a full charge or not. I don't know. The batteries were probably what, like $200 each? Right?
Yeah.
And on the high end, Brad probably charged me $300 to drive down to my house and put these batteries in. I don't know what he really charged. I have no idea because I don't even look at his bills. He is a vendor. He is a vendor that we implicitly trust. He sends a bill, we just pay it. I haven't looked at his bills in like 2 years. I don't think I ever looked at his bills. I think when we first started, Kelly might have showed them to me, but I don't. Anyways, I don't know what he charged, but let's say on the high end, he charged $300 to pick up the batteries and put them in the truck. I still think I probably stimulated more than $300 worth of sales in the time that I would have been fucking with that truck. Never mind frustration level and me having like a stroke or something from me looking at it going, I don't want to do this. This is fucking stupid fucking batteries. I'm one of the least mechanically inclined people in the whole world. So like,
I get it.
I opened the hood, I looked at the batteries and I went, my assessment is that it's going to take me 3 to 4 hours to do this. I bet it took Brad 20 minutes after he got here to replace these fucking batteries. So I do see your point. And maybe I do spend money frivolously.
I'm no stranger to spending money for no reason. The battery wouldn't start in the skid steer yesterday, and it's an ultra specific battery. So they said we've had the charger on it for half an hour and it's still not charging. I said, go buy a new fucking battery. Like, it's $350. Just go buy the battery. Like, they had to source it from some weird place, and it was a tiny high voltage battery or something like that. I said, just do it. Just get the battery. So I'm no better.
I think you're better than me at a lot of things. I'm not saying everything, but many things.
So what do you
like?
do?
I know for sure you're better at cutting hair than me.
Well,
You're a trained barber.
you can do a buzz cut. Anyone can do one of those.
That's all I can do is shave my head.
Yeah. My truck must know that I'm done with it or getting a new truck because it's decided to self-implode on itself with all sorts of sensors going off. I got an air suspension sensor, and I have a exhaust filter full sensor.
Yeah, you got to do a burnout. You got to do one of those like long highway drives.
No, it's past that. It's full. You have to do a forced regen or get a new filter, which is stupid expensive.
How much is a new filter?
The dealer, I don't know. Reading online, it's like $4 to $10 grand for a fucking filter. I'm like, can't you just take it out and like blow it out or something?
Why don't you do a forced regen?
You have to. The dealer has to do it. Like, I brought it to my mechanic, and they're like, "No, this is Dodge proprietary. You have to bring it to them to do it. You can't force it." So.
Oh, they got to hook it up to the laptop to force the regen.
Yeah. So it's either that, and they're going to charge you a stupid amount, or sell you a new filter. Either one, you're paying through the nose.
But you can't drive it that way, though. It's only going to get worse and worse. Then it'll derate the truck.
Well, I have been driving it. I'm going to drive it till the new one comes.
And, when does the new one come?
I don't know. They swapped it with the dealer, another dealer, and it comes with that brown color on the bottom, like the two-tone. And I told them they got to wrap that. I said, great, we got a guy for that. I said, I'm not using your guy. You got a piss poor attitude. And if he screws it up, I'm not buying the truck. I said, okay, we'll use your guy.
You know that their wrap guy has a piss poor attitude?
Yeah, I used him before. He's the most ungrateful person you would ever meet. Ungrateful person, and he complains about every single job you bring him. I don't want to work with this guy.
I love that the place you live is so small that you know all the rap guys. Like, I just love that.
There's only like 4 rap guys around here. Like, how many?
The rap guy you use has a bad attitude. If some dealership, Oshawa said to me, "We're bringing in a rap guy," it wouldn't even occur to me that I know the fucking rap guy and he has a bad attitude.
Well, I do. How many rap guys do you think a city of 60,000 people can sustain? Like,
4 is quite a bit.
We're bursting at the seams with 4.
Yeah,
like
that's 15,000 people per rap guy.
Yeah. So
How
I got
many
into
distribution centers are there?
3. Well, Broccolini's doing a new one right now, so I don't know.
Are they union?
Are they union?
Or do you work for them? Have you ever worked for them?
I think subtrades don't have to be union, but I'm not union, no.
No, I'm asking if you've ever worked for them because they're building a couple big buildings around here.
I've never worked for them, no.
Have you ever priced to them?
No. I priced
Where are they from?
To them, but I've never priced direct to them.
Where are they from?
I think they're from Montreal. I could be completely wrong. I have no clue. But they do a lot.
So what's the conclusion with the truck?
I don't. Oh, my truck. Whenever it comes, I guess. Until then, I'm driving the Ram.
Are you trading in the Ram on the new truck?
No. I think we're gonna keep it.
You got to get the diesel filter thing fixed, and the longer you leave it, it's gonna.
Yeah, I understand. I do have to get it fixed, but I would like to have one truck to drive instead of having no trucks to drive. Right? Like whenever the
I see what you're
Ford
saying.
comes in, then I can afford for the Ram to go to the mechanic to get fixed. But if the Ram is going to get fixed tomorrow, then I have nothing to drive.
Well, couldn't you just drive one of the other trucks, or because they don't have heated seats, you wouldn't be able to?
What other trucks? They're all vocational trucks. They're all dump trucks. They're all.
But you live at the yard, so just drive one.
But what do I do during the day when they all need their work trucks to get to?
Oh, are they all going out every day? You have no extra.
I could
trucks?
drive a tandem around, I suppose.
Perfect. I would do that.
There's a tandem that almost exclusively stays every day, but other than that, all our trucks are out.
I drove a hook truck for a few days everywhere I went because I can't remember what happened. Something happened. And I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just drive this bin truck everywhere.
I suppose I could, but
You need a Veloster.
Yeah, backup Veloster.
You need a backup. Exactly. You're right, Mike. A backup Veloster.
backup
Get a
lot.
backup Veloster. You wouldn't have these problems.
Get a smart car.
Yeah, but they already don't want me writing off my truck expenses. Imagine me throwing a car in the mix now. Like, it's ridiculous what they're asking of me when it comes to vehicles.
So are you going to sell the Ram or keep the Ram?
First, I was going to keep it, put a flat deck on the back. It's a stupid amount of money, probably another 15 grand to do that. So we either keep it the way it is or sell it. I don't know. We could use another little dump truck, I guess.
Can you sell it and just put the cash in the bank?
I could. Absolutely, I could. But then what happens if my truck ever breaks down? There's no backup sitting pickup truck. It's not
Yeah, you basically drive brand new trucks. How often does your
well, it's happening now. It's I don't know. I understand I'm coming from a place of luxury where I can afford to do this, and not everybody can afford to have 2 pickup trucks, right? But I don't know.
Did they not give you an ETA on your pickup truck?
No, they're off. Those dealers don't work Sunday, Monday, so.
Oh, gotcha.
Who knows? I'll probably get a call from them tomorrow. Well, your truck will be in by the end of the week or something. So we'll see.
Besides the brown, is it the truck that you ordered?
Well, it doesn't have vinyl floors, but yeah. It's got a sunroof. I didn't want a sunroof.
Ooh.
Still has the massaging seats, so you guys get to use those for H&A.
Do you think it'll be in by H&A?
It should be in this week, so hope
Why
so.
didn't you make them paint the truck? Like paint the whole fucking thing black?
Paint the truck? No.
That's what I made them do for Christie's dump truck.
Yeah, but
I didn't want that wrap shit.
$300,000.
Well, this truck's half.
Yeah, well, 120. Yeah. So I don't know.
Why is $20,000 cheaper without the long box?
No, well, after taxes, they're probably pretty close. So I think there's I don't know, $1,000 difference between the boxes size. But I don't know.
So sorry. My scheduling app has been a total fuck show this week. It stopped using it stopped letting it, like the button to like clock out disappeared. So I'm texting him going, hey, no one can clock out. I'm on the app or whatever using this stupid AI chat. Like, here's 3 articles that may help you. None of these articles help me, stupid AI bot. Like, we could get a live person for you. Or you could read these 3 articles about getting a live person. Like, there was articles about how to deal with live people. I'm like, fuck off. Just give me a live person. Then they keep saying, I don't understand how that could happen. I said, well, I can tell you that it can happen. So Christy was screenshotting the app and sending it to them going, look, it's fucking happening, bitch. And then they sort of fixed it and everyone can clock out now. But now Ross is saying his schedule's not working, which is super weird. That's the first time that ever happened. I don't know. I really liked this app up to last week. Holy shit.
Maybe it's a server problem. Same thing that's happening to Zoom. Maybe they got acquired. And
They
they're
probably got
following the
hired by
ways of Red
They
Lobster.
got acquired by a fucking hedge fund. And fucking stupid fucking hedge funds. So do you think that tinting windows is trendy or not? I think it is trendy. I think it is a trend. There's a lot of people seem to be doing it.
I've seen just a couple of people do it on Instagram. That's it. Is it trendy?
Chad?
Yeah.
What trendy, sorry?
Tinting equipment.
Tinting windows.
It might be a trend.
That
Hey,
rock struck. Not what his name is. The guy that has all the Bitcoin.
Oh, advanced
wall
structures?
structures or something. That guy has all his
That's
machines.
Bitcoin.
They're all Devlons, and they all have a wrist twist and a,
Devlon.
Yeah.
What is Devlon Doosan?
yeah. They were Doosan, now they're Devlon.
It's just rebranded Doosan.
It's a rebranded Doosan. Yeah.
Why? Because the Doosan brand shit the bed, or what?
I think someone bought them. There was some kind of buyout. If you buy a Bobcat excavator, Bobcat excavators are all Doosan, Doosan's, Devlons. Like if you buy a 14-ton Bobcat excavator, it's a Devlon.
Which is probably a terrible idea because no one at Bobcat can work on a 14-ton machine.
It seemed like a bad idea to me. Like, why wouldn't you just buy a Dev? Although Bobcat does have a good service network, but are they prepared to work on that machine? I don't know. At the average dealership,
Their service truck is not coming out prepared to service a 14-ton or 16-ton shovel. I'll tell you that right now. Because the dealer around here had one sitting for a year for shit that went wrong on it because they couldn't service it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know all the specifics, so I won't get into it, but he sat for a long time.
Was it during the pandemic?
Right after, I think.
Oh, probably a parts issue.
Yeah. We have to take our 20-ton out to site again tomorrow. Where it's working off the side of a road, its ass is going to be hanging right out into traffic.
Is that the one with the screener on it? Screening bucket?
Yeah, the screening bucket's not going to be on it when it goes out, but we have a 14-ton shovel right now, and it's doing a big ready rock block, but it can't quite reach to the bottom of the trench to put the block in. So, got to call out the 21-ton.
Nice. Doosan was bought by Hyundai in 2021
and became Devlon. Which isn't really a combination of Hyundai and Doosan. Devlon. If you said if you said join Hyundai and Devlon, I wouldn't come up. If you said Hyundai and Doosan, I wouldn't come up with Devlon.
Is Hyundai Korean though?
Yeah, it is. Same with Doosan.
Devlon is Korean? Korean?
Yeah.
And why do they supply machines to Bobcat?
I would trust the Koreans before the Chinese.
Yeah, other than I don't know that much about Korean food.
Oh, it's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of Korean barbecue places. I know they do a mean barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to judge it solely on food, I don't know.